What's up? Welcome to another video. You're probably here because you want to make a lot more money than you're currently making. And so this video, just as business does better and better, I just reflect on, how far I've come, how far we've come. And, um, there's a lot of things that I know now that I wish I would have known 3 years ago, 5 years ago, that if I did know them, I would be way further than I am today. Um, so the reason why I'm making this video is kind of what I just told you, but at the same time, I've been in the workforce for 11 years and I started at a pizza joint making 7.25 an hour, but it wasn't until about 4 years ago uh, where I really started pursuing money, and I really started to realize like, hey, I'm not necessarily working because I love to work or I love this field that I'm working in. I'm working because that is how you acquire wealth. Well, not acquire wealth, but that is how you build the money to then acquire wealth. So it's like, if I'm going to spend this time doing something that I, have to do regardless if I like it or not, let me make sure I'm in the right vehicle. So in the past 3 years, I've continuously doubled my income. I will do it again this year. And now, thankfully, I'm in a position where, like, man, three years ago is like, at any given time I had $3,000 max to my name. And now, like, I really don't think twice about the price of things like rent, food, experiences. Now, a lot of the questions about is it worth it? It's from a time perspective. So I also don't really have expensive taste. Like, I'm not super flashy. I do like nice things, but like the Lamborghini, the AP, the penthouse, all this stuff, like I could have that stuff if I wanted it. I could pay it in cash multiple times over. It's just not really my style. Um, so just to kind of show you guys, like, I think I'm someone that you might want to listen to, especially if you're behind. If you're ahead of me, turn this video off. But I wish someone broke this down for me when I was younger. I would have been a lot further by now. So why you aren't worth $1 million yet? Basically, let's break down, how does someone become worth a million, 10 million, a billion, right? It's very simple. You need to know how to produce a significant amount of money. You need to go and then produce a significant amount of money. You need to do that for an extended period of time, and then you need to not lose the money. That is like the core fundamentals of being worth a lot of money and having it last for a long time. It's a pretty linear path if your goal is to make a lot of money, but you don't just stumble your way into wealth or high net worth unless you inherited some large sum of money. If you're, like me, that's not the case. This is a calculated pursuit, and you need to gamify this pursuit. You look at it like, if you ever played RuneScape back in the day. I know that's been coming up lately in recent history, but if you played a game like that where you're gamifying making money, leveling up, you really just need to play that in your everyday life. It's not going to be as fun. You can't be as risky. You got to play a little bit safer than that. Um, but yeah, man, just like level up your character and take the steps that you know are going to do that. So understanding how money works really quick. Money is, it's the most common accommodation for an exchange of value. It doesn't have a language. It doesn't judge. It doesn't pick sides or have opinions. $1 is $1. That fact will never change. Um, so knowing that, like, these are facts, these are not opinions. Uh, how do we make a dollar? Right? You make a dollar by meeting a market demand, either using your time, your knowledge, or your resources. That's it. Like, there's not really anything else. Sure, there's like umbrellas that can come out of these, but that's it. It's the same thing to make $100, $1,000, $1 million. But the reason why a lot of people don't get past, I don't know, let's call it $100,000 a year, uh, is because they're just using their time, right? Time is finite. You only have 24 hours in a day. If you can work 16 of those, you're you're lucky. That's a lot. If you can work 12, you're lucky. Most people are working like 6. But by using your time to make money, it's going to take you a very long time to create escape velocity. Like, you can live an absolutely good life just working a high paying job, but your income's not going to grow exponentially. if you can then leverage someone else's time, that's a resource and it can be considered leverage, and you could probably make more money by doing that. And again, disclaimer, you can create a good life, even a great life, by only using times. I guess that definition is subjective, but you can create a better life by increasing your knowledge in addition to using your time. So, like being in the same field for 10 years, you're clearly going to get paid more than the person who's brand new to the field, has all the time in the world. In the beginning, no matter what, though, you will use your time. Okay. So, increasing your income does not come without increasing your leverage. For the sake of this video, I'm not talking about how to get a raise, like a little minor raise. We're talking about exponential growth, similar to this chart here. The next thing I want to talk about is being directionally correct, because for a while I was not directionally correct. You see this chart here, let's zoom in a little bit. This little point of the chart is today, right? And the thing that, like, one thing that you do today, if it's 1 degree different than what you could be doing over a long enough period of time, like there's going to be a dramatic difference in where you're at as long as you keep pursuing that. And so this could go both ways. It could go up, it could go down, it could stay just straight, like no ups or downs, which isn't very fun. But you need to be directionally correct. And so if your goal is to exponentially increase your income, you need to be moving in that direction and taking those steps. So at this point, it's extremely important for you to optimize the vehicle. Let's break this down, right? 2 similar career tracks. One is like cashier, customer sale, or like customer service person. And another one is a sales rep. After 10 years, same time allocation, both with an increasing educational moat relative to their profession, it's very likely that the sales rep has made a significant amount of money more than the best cashier on earth. It's also very likely that the sales rep in the beginning or at times made less than the cashier within a short time period. And, given the same soft skills that these people have acquired, the best cashier in the world likely does not make 100,000 in a single year. However, a mediocre sales rep can and will make 100,000 in the same year. And I see people go from cashier, customer service to sales all the time really easily, just because they already have the skills. They just needed to get in the right vehicle, and then they make more money. So if you're going to go spend your time and effort pursuing a vehicle and your goal is to make the most money, make sure it's a vehicle that has the potential that you're hoping for. Okay. If you're watching this video and you made it this far so far, I think that's probably your goal. So what to do when you don't have any more time to deploy? Again, you can't work 24 hours a day. If you work 16 hours, like, you can't do that consistently. So what do you do after? Well, then by expending a significant amount of hours doing something, you likely know something or know how to do something that others do not. This is where your knowledge, your education comes in. So now you can leverage education/knowledge in conjunction with your time, and you can likely get paid more to do the work that you've been doing somewhere else. This is going to increase your income, but not quite exponentially yet. You may experience a period of exponential growth using these 2 assets, but this probably won't come until way down the road. Let's think like, corporate ladder, like 10, 15, 20 years, which if you're watching this video, probably not looking for that. Really quick, I'll touch on the concept of compounding too, because compounding is something that you don't really realize how powerful it is until you realize, like, oh shit, this is pretty insane, until you really realize it, like, in your own personal life. But Albert Einstein says compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. So no matter which tier of the game you're in, just don't underestimate the concept of compounding efforts, whether that's your knowledge, your resources, your reputation. But time does not compound. I mean, it might compound into knowledge, but the time itself, the labor itself, is not going to compound and give you any leverage moving forward. So now we kind of understand, like, well, look, how money works, how to be in the right direction to make a lot of money, what to do when you max out your time. We understand the facts, right? Now, how do we produce a substantial amount of money? By average terms, 100K, 200K per year is substantial and can provide a great life. You can use your own time doing this in 5 years or less. But people and businesses buy to increase effectiveness. And this is very, very basic, but very encompassing. Uh, People and businesses will pay to make more money with less resources or make more money in less time. Again, under that, there's umbrellas, right? But avenues for exponential income growth, example, get paid a lot of money for a task, 100K, sell scaled labor resources at a discount. And that could be, through an agency or something. So once you max out your time, you can either get paid more because you know more, which you're still using your time here, or outsource an agency, outsource some type of work where you're giving them a very good value for the price that they're paying in conjunction with their business. So engaging markets with money is another thing that a lot of people who start businesses or try to start businesses don't grasp fully. But you can sell to two people. You can sell to those who have money to spend and those who don't have money to spend or much of it. I personally would rather sell to people who have money. It's a lot easier, right? You can sell to a lot more of them. You can take the same number of calls, offer the same scope of services, same product, same pricing. And by selling to these two different people, you will get two completely different results. That's pretty clear, right? It's pretty black and white. Selling to people with little to no money or resources, it's an uphill battle. I don't like to play it. Okay. So, you want to think of ways that you can package up your services based on the resources, the education, the time that you do have, provide more value to that marketplace. And you want to make sure the marketplace is one that is willing to pay for that. Okay. You can't, sure, it's possible, but creating demand in the market based off an idea or a passion that you have is very difficult. What is more effective most of the times is being in that market, seeing it firsthand, seeing that they're willing to pay for it, and then creating that solution. Now, let's talk about creating leverage. Once you tap out in terms of time and individual output, we need leverage, right? This line that doesn't go as high is you working a job, getting promotions, whatever. Like, still, you can increase your income that way. But if you start to use leverage, sure, you might go lower initially. Starting a business is risky, but you can go a lot higher a lot faster. So leverage your resources, leverage your knowledge, and then identifying opportunities. So you need to understand your market. And I just kind of touched on this, but understand what they have, what they want, and why they don't have what they want, and if they can afford it. And then solve the equation. Just like all the stuff that we talked about so far, there's certain things that are facts and there's certain things that are opinions. Like the thing about the sales rep versus the cashier or the customer service person, that is a fact. Like you cannot argue with that. They're both valuable people that society needs. But if your goal is to make as much money as possible, I don't know why you'd be a cashier. It's probably easier. It's probably safer, right? So all this being said, guys, like this inherently comes with risk. It's just the reality of it. So you solve the equation, look at the facts, take your knowledge, make something happen, right? You need more leads but don't have time, implement outbound sales efforts. Need better info and professional experience, sell your knowledge. So there's different ways to serve the market based off of the experience that you've had within the market. Now, how to make a lot of money for a long time? It's pretty easy. Do good business, have a good product, provide better results, offer more support, get more referrals. These like short-term marketing tactics, sure, they help you in the short term. That's why they're called short term. But a loyal customer base and good reputation will boost revenue for years, and they compound. The picture of the Lamborghini on your Instagram, once like 6 months goes by, nobody's ever going to see it again unless they're crazy ex stalking you. Also adapting your offer as you learn more, do more. And it's very likely that a result of a positive service delivery from you then creates another bottleneck for that person or business. This is inevitable. So solve the next problem, right? If they don't have leads and then you come in and generate more leads, well, now maybe their onboarding breaks. And if their onboarding breaks, then maybe the transition into CSM work isn't smooth. So help them fix the next problems. You can make more money doing that if you're good at it. And then do good work the first time around. You'll have the easiest sales when it comes to time to help the person again, like recurring sales with the same client. Also, getting reviews. People don't love leaving good reviews in their free time. It's just not a fun thing to do, but they will leave bad reviews after any minor inconvenience. So yeah, you must go out of your way to get good reviews. I included a picture here. Back in my in-person sales job, we would have review contests, and every time we'd have that, I'd go and hit up all my customers, just dial, text, send them links. Let me know when you post this, and I think we were running this for like 2 weeks, and I had all these clients leave reviews. Um, Good reviews go really far. That's why on my YouTube, I don't, if you've seen it, I have a community member playlist for the community that I run. And yeah, good reviews help people make good decisions, especially video. They'll single handedly get someone over any objection that they may be able to come up with in their mind, make them presentable, make them interesting, make them easy to access. Now, how to keep your money. This is kind of the stage that I'm in, hiring professionals to help me out. And I'm still in the position of increasing income, absolutely. But here's what I do. Always have some cash, high yield savings account, stocks, crypto, Roth IRA. But most importantly, I reinvest it any given time I can into myself, my team, and my business. Because while I have had exponential growth, I realize on a 10-year, 20-year time span, I'm still really, really early. Everything that I can put into myself now, everything that I have put into myself, it has probably paid off 10 times over, whether directly or indirectly. And why would I change that if it's working? So just basically, guys, don't be an idiot with your money. Push back lifestyle creep as long as possible. You don't really need the Lamborghini. You don't need the AP. But one thing that I did this year that was really helpful is I hired people to help me manage money. And I would recommend that. You just make sure you're getting the right people in there, but I would recommend that very strongly. And summary, guys, decide that you want to make a lot of money and take the necessary steps to do so. Like this, again, it's not a luck thing unless you inherit money. You don't stumble into it. You don't accidentally get rich. I mean, go do your scratch off lottery tickets, but like if you reverse engineer everyone who's ever been rich, been wealthy, not coming from family, like there's always the same types of things that those people did. So just do those things. Like don't reinvent the wheel. Do those things. You got to pick the right vehicle, which if you're watching this, you might be in sales. That's what most of my content's about. If you're in that stage of it, you're in the right spot. You need to know when your time contribution is maxed out. Know when it's time to increase leverage. Know how to increase leverage within your marketplace. Learn how to sustain a high income with a good reputation, and then just don't lose your money. You only need to get rich once. And, that sounds like a very short-stated or short-sighted, I guess, sentence, but it's true because once you get $3 million in your bank account, like just play your cards right and you'll make, I don't know, 80, 160, 240K a year on autopilot. Not to mention, if you're capable of getting 3 million in your bank account, you're probably not the type of person that can just shut off and retire to the mountains at 28 years old. So you just need to get rich once, play it right, and then compounding takes into effect. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is a lot of stuff. Like, I've read a bunch of books and talked to a bunch of people that are ahead of me, and this is a lot of stuff that I just wish I knew sooner. And I didn't realize that it was so black and white on how to make more money. Like I just thought like, oh, that person made a lot of money, like they're lucky, right? Or they got a lucky break, good for them. I couldn't do the same. It's not the case. Like literally just put one foot in front of the other, follow people who are doing what you want to do. Don't give up. I've been trying to make online money since 2017. And I didn't really start making it until like 2022, really 2023. But anyways, for those of you that are early on in this journey, maybe you are still using time for money and you don't really even have much knowledge yet, like to compound your earnings. But if you're determining a vehicle or exchanging your time for a high income plus knowledge, get a sales job. If you want a remote sales job as an appointment setter or closer and you want to make a bunch of money while you learn how these online businesses operate, join my community, serialsalescommunity.co. Been running it for a year and a half now. We've helped hundreds of people from every corner of the world do this. People who are part-time, second language as English, 12-hour time difference from the US, no high school degree, no sales experience. We've helped everybody. Again, I was telling you guys about the community member playlist that I have. Go to my playlist. There's 25 one-on-one interviews with people who have gone through that process with good things to say. We're constantly going to be filming more as well. But if you want to do the same, check out the links in the description. They're always down there. And if you have questions about kind of the journey, maybe more specific questions to where you are at currently, then leave them as comments or DM me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that. And I appreciate you watching the video. Let me know what you guys think. And if you have any suggestions for new videos, drop them below. We'll keep it rolling. But thank you guys.